Welcome back to Bay Sunday. Our next guest is from the Native American Community Health Program, or Nach, NACH, a program sponsored by SEVA, a worldwide health organization working to build sustainable programs to feed and shelter those that are a little less fortunate across our globe. Nach programs serve Native Americans, and they have a big health fair on June the 2nd coming up. And here to chat about that is a Native American Community Health Manager, Andrea O'Hare.
Hi.
How are you? Well, tell us about Nach. What exactly is it?
We're a program that supports Native leaders and organizations that are building healthy communities, that have community-based programs that are rooted in Native values and traditions. So we support cultural renewal, traditional farming practices, seed planting. We support youth leadership, women's leadership programs, and overall programs that revitalize the traditional knowledge that has been lost.
And you're a Native American, right?
I am. I am Navajo and Irish. I'm from Shiprock, New Mexico. I was born there and lived on the reservation. I have family there. So I've witnessed firsthand the health disparities that exist on many reservations.
Well, let's talk about those, because I know in particular diabetes, I guess, is very prevalent really worldwide right now, because we're just not eating what we used to eat years ago, and especially for Native Americans, I guess, right?
Yes, type 2 diabetes is, we have the highest rates of type 2 diabetes, along with poverty, the highest rates of poverty in the U.S. and with unemployment. So when you look at the big picture, Native Americans have experienced loss of homelands, relocation, consistent relocation, loss of access to healthy foods. And so you bring in all these factors with the poverty and unemployment, and we're seeing limitations, lifestyle limitations, and diseases.
And how does your program go in and help these people?
We promote health and wellness. We're a 30-year program, and we've supported over 300 health and wellness initiatives in Native country. This past year alone, we impacted nearly 4,000 indigenous peoples in Alaska, California, and South Dakota. We started with funding the first Native-run and operated health clinic in South Dakota. We launched the Diabetes Talking Circles, which is a cultural curriculum that works to prevent and treat diabetes within Native communities. So we have a long-standing history in partnering with Native communities. We don't bring in a model, they voice the vision, and we support that.
You sustain it, you come in to help buoy them up a little bit.
Yes, and build the capacity, build their resources, advocate for them, and provide training resources.
And do we have a long way to go?
We do. Yeah. We have a long way to go, that's when we look at funding. Right now, there's 0.03% of philanthropic dollars going into Native funding, and there's a common misconception that Natives get a check in the mail, or they're funded by casinos. That's not the case. There are very few organizations that have access to that funding, and so majority of indigenous populations are living in poverty and have type 2 diabetes or have pre-diabetes. So there's a lot of work to do, and SEVA's, right there on the front lines, working in communities.
I think there's a lot of ignorance when it comes to Native Americans. It's been so many years removed from, when all that happened in the 1800s. And how many reservations are there? Are there?
There are over. There's each year. There's they're working to recognize different tribes. There's over 200 federally recognized tribes, but it's a process to go through. So there's a lot of misrepresented tribes and cultures that are not being reflected in these statistics. They're not being reflected in policy work. And so that's where we really strive to work in the communities, and not just on a tribal level, but in the Bay Area communities. Here, there's over 100,000 Native indigenous people in the Bay Area.
No kidding. Wow. June 2nd, I know you got a big health fair coming up, right?
Yes, we have a Native American health fair in the East Bay, Oakland, and we're going to have local Native performers. There'll be health resources that are rooted in Native knowledge, seed planting, activities for youth. We'll have lacrosse, Native dance classes, Zumba. It's a great time for family to come out and learn about the issues, be involved, and get to know our community. So we're really excited about that.
And where's that in Oakland now?
It'll be at the East Oakland Sports Center by the Oakland Coliseum.
Okay. June the 2nd.
Yes.
All right. Well, Andrea, we wish you all the best. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. If you'd like more information on the health fair on June the 2nd, you can log on to seva.org. Back, more Bay Sunday right after the break. Stay there.